You guys could all enter Bard as a contestant in a dogfight.
It'd be like the next martial arts movie, Enter the Bard.
It's like super
Oh
unfair
gosh.
to all the other dogs, though.
Eh.
Oof.
Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The party's been through a lot. Let's start off with Alexis. Eve. What transpired in our last harrowing adventure?
Well, we investigated the pyramid a little bit more and some of the altars, the one to Anubis and to Thoth. And at the top of the pyramid, so Bard had gone to take a bone from the body, but the floor was shaking as well. Don't think you reported this, but I think I went up and checked.
You definitely heard that the floor was vibrating. But yeah, no, Bard neglected to mention that.
I don't remember if I said, but I did.
Your audio is cutting out.
The phone.
You're a popcorn new person then, Andy.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Oh,
So-
All right, so we opened the pyramid and this guy came out. And he is a of Anubis.
Yep, he was the high priest of Anubis. So, over to we'll do Bard.
All right. So this high priestess rises out of the pyramid, and he gives us this choice. Basically, he's been he gives us a little bit of exposition. He lets us know that he's been buried in that pyramid for a very, very long time, and he thinks that some pharaoh or king has sent us to come release him. I think he was disappointed when he found out that that wasn't true. But he presented us with a choice. Basically, he was saying that the only way to get out of this temple was that either all of us sacrifice years or life essence, or two of us must be sacrificed in order to open the doors. And there was a lot of conversation, a lot of going back and forth. But then somebody made a decision. Popcorn Devin?
Well, what decision was that?
Popcorn Orn.
Popcorn did it.
Popcorn Orn. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah, so obviously we were trying to find a way to sacrifice any of our soul or any of our lives. And so I decided to pull out the orb of the guardian, see what would happen. Thinking that maybe he had some connection to it. And he obviously did. And I thought it would work. And I should have suspected someone. He decided to tell it back away from me. But Orn being Orn and very curious about other cultures, he wants to give people the benefit of the doubt. He decided to see what would happen. Also believing that he could handle his way. He pulls it out. He thought that he was actually going to get somewhere. And then they asked him a question of who was his master, something. What was the pharaoh's name? And at that point, Orn knew for a fact that he was not going to be able to BS his way out of the situation. And so a fight ensued out.
And that's when the fun started.
Well, he did some weird thing to Gary too.
Gary, you just
Gary.
you just rolled on up there.
What happened to you?
Yeah, Gary was just strolling up there to maybe talk, or because he started. Usher Nahek was the name of this.
Very good. Very
priest.
good. Gary,
What to your name?
add yourself an inspiration die.
Do they
These are
stack?
Oh.
Are they stacking dies? I have
You
one
can't
already.
you can't stack them at the same time, but you can keep more than one at a time.
You can
Oh.
stack, but you can't use that one more than one.
No. Okay, cool. Nice. All right.
When in doubt, don't tell him you already have one. Just accept it.
Pro tip:
But was all right. Well, now he knows too much. Anyways,
Okay, you'll learn.
so Gary saw him putting his hands in the flame, doing some weird sort of chanting incantation thing. So he felt like he needed to get up there and maybe try to like talk to him or interrupt him. But for some reason, this dude turned around, grabbed a hold of Gary's head, and it did some sort of craziness to him. And he lost all of his constitution. He now no longer has a constitution.
remember, I corrected that after you do have your Constitution score.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay, just kidding. That didn't happen. Made that part up.
I did say that. I did say that. I had to fix myself.
Well, he gave him some sort of weird abilities. So somehow he's immune to exhaustion and poison. I'm assuming things aren't going to be looking good for Gary if he doesn't try to fix this. And then yes, the battle shortly began after that.
So in the fight, in the fight, Eve, what was your strategy in this? Because you actually inspired the name of the episode.
The name of the episode was. My strategy was to just try and convince him to fight. Go.
You said to use 2 bodies. They were already dead.
You offered yourself to him in a provocative way.
I did not offer.
I thought we agreed that wasn't the name of the episode.
Did
Provocative
not
offering?
offer. Thank you.
Oh, okay. It was an offering.
But it did work. You guys successfully put down the 2 priests. Melusine, did you have anything you wanted to add to that? I'm trying to think if we've left anything out.
Melusine is just like ready to go. I did, manage to keep hold of my cool headdress, hat, crown
Always a
thing.
win.
And that's really what is most important. That's really what I was hoping for coming out of this.
Right.
I'd still have
And
my hat.
in addition to your clothing accessories, Barnab is still alive.
Oh, duh.
After you left him by himself, front and center, fighting the massive bone golem, he managed to come through it alive.
That's his job.
And he does it with such gusto.
That's right.
So
I raised my slave well.
So as the sound of the shuffling footsteps proceed down the corridor, back through the mortuary temple behind you, all of you find yourselves with whatever hit points and health that you had on various positions around this pyramid. Thoric and Bard, I need each of you to make con saves. Con saves? Con saves? Hold on, don't make it just yet. I think it's con save. Yes, con save. Bard did so well, he ran away.
Tail between his
I'm back.
legs.
I had to get a die. Oh my god.
Did not
God.
pass.
Guys. Got a 1.
Wow!
Oh, I got a
He
2.
died.
Wow. Okay.
And I don't have a modifier, by the way.
As you guys watch, Bard and Thoric both become visibly ill, and you can tell that they've had bags underneath their eyes, and they've been behaving a little bit differently ever since their run-in with the mummies the day before. But now they are visibly sickened, and Bard and Thoric, both of you, gain a 2nd point of exhaustion
Oh, shit.
as this sickness begins to take hold on you. Alrighty.
BRB. I get a pencil.
Eve. The temple reconsecrated. The task of Anubis fulfilled. You feel a divine presence almost enwrapping you. The warm sense that some higher power takes an interest in your well-being and has its eye on you. Now, you can add yourself a D10 inspiration die.
Cute.
So as you guys look around the room, there's not a whole lot left in here to see that you haven't already examined. Two things that stand out, aside from the piles of bones that are now scattered across the room from where Orn and the dwarves were smashing skeletons across the room. There are two large obsidian blades, one each wielded by the mortuary priests, which are now dead. And those obsidian blades are nearly the only things that are left of those priests that aside from just scraps of rags, their bodies seem to desiccate as quickly as they were annihilated. Hey, Orn, if you're saying something, we can't hear you. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. So,
Well, let's go pick up those blades. Someone should go get that. I'm gonna go throw one at the dragon. Maybe he wants it.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. Here you go.
The blade.
alrighty.
Don't throw them at me, but you can toss them to me.
I won't make it to you if I throw it at you. I'm not that strong. You're all the way across the room.
There it is.
So yeah, we'll
Yeah.
find our way back to where the swords are at.
Yep,
Hopefully.
they're in two separate spots in the room. I don't remember exactly where the relic priests went down, but they're in the room. You're able to collect them. These are two-handed blades, and they are magical. Anyone who wishes may roll an Arcana or an Investigate check to examine these blades.
I'll do it.
You said there's two of them?
Two of them.
What is the
24.
what does the 2 points of exhaustion do again?
The second point of exhaustion gives you disadvantage on attack rolls, I believe.
And the first one's ability checks and whatnot.
Ability checks.
Yeah. This one says ability
Okay.
checks, but then it says at the second level, it's your speed is halved.
Ah, that's it. What's the
Ooh.
third? I know. I know.
Nope.
At one point, I had you guys get to like exhaustion 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna dual wield both of these.
They're
two-handed.
two-handed weapons. You can
Oh,
dual wield.
they're two-handed weapons.
Yes, sir. They were wielding
Damn
them
it.
with two hands. So,
Yeah, I can't use them.
well, you sure you can. You just use a different weapon. So at level 3, you gain disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. So right now, you guys only have disadvantage on the ability checks, and your speed is halved. And that doesn't affect your poof ability, of course. Just to throw that.
It
out
does
there.
or it doesn't?
It does not.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Think of that as impulse power. Okay, so who was rolling the investigate checks / Arcana?
I got
I
a
did.
10 on my Arcana check.
Okay, Orn, Mel, what'd you get?
24.
24. Jeez, anyone else? For a bard?
I
This room smells like bones.
rolled a 4 too.
Okay, Gary, this room smells like bones.
Nice. Well, this room smells like bones.
Yeah, I just got a permeating smell of bone decay in here.
That's just you're smelling, Gary.
You are
Smells
noticing.
like my knees.
So, Eve, I'll go ahead and give you this information here, because as you're looking at this room, you realize that all of the elven bones that are stored in this pyramid, elven bones are naturally magical because all elves are magical. So the magical focus that this pyramid is much stronger because of the hundreds and hundreds of bodies worth of bones that are all magical that are crammed into this thing. Melusine,
Cool.
you are able to. Well, I'll just do Orn first, and I'll work my way up. So, Orn, you're able to determine that both of these are magical weapons. They are +1 magical weapons. Typical +1 obsidian blades. They're two-handed weapons. The damage that they do is 3d6 bludgeoning damage. They do not have sharpened edges. They're very smooth for the most part. They've never been sharpened into an edge. They're basically like a massive club, but with a flatter blade that's kind of squarish on the edge of it. It's very strange. But they're very heavy as well. So when you hit someone with them, they do a considerable amount of damage.
Thor, do you want these?
Melusine, you're certain from
I'll take it.
Hieroglyphics that are on these blades that these are relic blades that would be reserved for mortuary priests under the Riverlands. These would be very valuable to anyone who's into Riverland archaeology or history.
I'll share that.
All right, that's all I had down for this room, and the doors are open into the rest of the tomb.
Andy, I really hope that you didn't make those weapons specifically for me.
Nope.
Like you made beads for, like prayer beads for a specific person.
Why would I do that? What a waste of time that would be.
Yeah, I mean, making, attachments for a monk. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Wait,
But
what?
I just hope that you didn't make this specifically for Orn. Because Orn's a dual wielding character.
Nope, those were not for Orn.
Okay.
Did we lose somebody?
Thor.
Hey, let me go tuck in my kid real quick.
Could you just aim your camera up or something? Yeah, that'd be good. Because then you disconnect it, it moves everything around. Alrighty, so is
Usher still around?
Usher has left. He was carried out by the large bone golem that departed along with the soldiers that he summoned from the pyramid.
He's no longer inside? We can't run him down and ask a question?
He's near enough you could chase after him if you want to.
Please don't.
He's outside the mortuary temple. You guys haven't been to the area that he's currently moving through.
Oh, we have not?
Nope.
Why I'm gonna go kind of hobbling back towards them. Wait, I have a question. I need to know something about this temple.
All right, so Gary, you go running into the running into the mortuary temple. Does anyone go after Gary?
I do at half speed.
Okay. Very sick dog.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll follow.
I'm just trying to get in shouting distance of him. I'm trying to run up to him.
As you rush into the mortuary temple, you can see the doors are open into a long hallway beyond. And Usher is walking down that hallway. And he stops, turns around to acknowledge you, Gary. He's carrying he's being carried by the bone golem. He's in its arms almost, and it rotates around. He's kind of almost reclining on its two arms like a makeshift throne. Yeah.
I wanted to thank you for your blessing you gave me earlier. It was very kind of you.
In time, you may repay me for my blessing to you. But today, I wish you no ill will.
Well, thank you again, but do you think you can point my party to another part of this temple that we visited prior?
I have no interest in helping you anymore. You've killed my two priests. Friends they were in life. Now I am alone. Well, he looks at his skeletons and his bone golem. Not entirely alone.
Maybe, what if I can bring you a priest?
Perhaps.
You
If
would be
you-
a priest.
If you would repay what you have cost me today, seek me out again, orc. And he turns, and they walk down the corridor.
I'm gonna go back to the group.
He seems very focused on getting out of the tomb.
Wait, he's at. Oh. Apparently he's heading out of the tomb.
Yep.
He's heading out of the tomb, I think. Oh, maybe we should do the same.
Yeah, that's the whole reason why we had that whole fight, right?
Do you think he's leaving the tomb, or do you think he's going deeper? We haven't gone that way. What,
I want
Why
fresh
won't
air.
he leave?
the voice in my head just said he was leaving the tomb.
I wouldn't
I would,
tell people
yeah.
that you have a voice in your head.
What?
Well, once you hit my age, you'll develop a couple as well.
Well, that's a long ways away.
I don't know. It'll be sooner than you think.
Some would say practically a lifetime.
All right. So,
Oh.
Gary, you're in the Death Temple. The rest of you are in the Mortuary Temple as well. You guys remember this area because you were in there before. Is this the way you guys want to go?
Hey, Dwarf, you know about these sorts of things, right?
Yes, we should
Aye.
continue that way.
Now he's bringing up this again. Again with the racism.
It's not racist, I'm just saying.
Racist!
Paving you a compliment. Are you saying that you're not capable of navigating inside this tomb?
No, we are. No, not Malcolm says we are. We are quite capable. Probably more capable than any other race. But to assume such things.
This general says there's an elevator in the other room. Why don't we go to the elevator?
Elevator?
Yes, apparently there's an elevator right on the other side of this room, according to this journal. Says he ran to the elevator.
Well, he also died, right? So we don't really want to do exactly what he did.
Well, he didn't die on the elevator.
Fair.
We ran
Whatever.
into dead bodies here. It's right. It's just right on the other door. It's right down south, right through the door we came, and there's another door right there. Just open it up, and we'll see if it's an elevator.
I mean, I suppose the elevator brings us to the surface, and that's where we want to be.
Yeah, right. Out, not here. Otherwise, we got to go back through the Bay of Scarabs. You want to do that again?
No.
No. I'm out of bones to use.
I
Yeah,
thought
right,
I
nobody
didn't think of that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, the Bay of nobody wants to go through that crap again.
True.
All right, so you're in the Mortuary Temple, which you guys were in before. Do you guys want to do anything in here, or do you guys want to head back the way you came? I was unclear on what the decision was.
Wasn't there that door right there, or separate, like that door right next to us?
Yep, there's a door. I'm going to just put a door here to represent this, but it's open.
Can we just peek through and
Yeah, why don't I? Duh. That's why I had that note.
yeah, that door.
You see there is a long tunnel. And Malcolm's like, that's a very familiar tunnel there. Ah, 'twas in the tunnel like that I lost Sven. Them green glowing demon folk came barreling out of the wall.
Oh, Sven's one of the other ones.
I
this
put
is the-
my hand on his shoulders and say, Don't think about it as you losing Finn. Think about it as your profit margin.
He pats the bag of gold. He goes, "Oh, I do, Dragonborn. I do."
This is where they are bringing the body parts. This is the room where those golems were coming. They brought the body parts to this bone pyramid here, and the weird stuff happened. But if we go down that hallway, and then on the left, they should bring us back to the treasure room. Stay away from the Bay of Scarabs.
So, yeah, well,
As long as we don't go back there, I'm fine.
Yeah, I agree. I
Well,
don't
we can
like
send
bugs.
the tiptoeing devil woman first, because she's really good at that. The flying creature. Yes, yeah, have her go forward. She's very. I'm
Flying
not
creature
good.
has a name.
Yes, right.
The
It ain't
tiptoeing
Eve.
flying creature.
Eve, Miss
You
Eve,
fool, orc.
Miss Eve of the Deep South. Will you please go check for traps?
Eve of the Deep South.
I'm really bad at checking for traps. Trust me.
I'm good at it.
No, you're not.
Fact check, no.
Yeah, I'll scout ahead and
I'm good at finding them. I didn't say I was good at avoiding.
Eve, roll me a perception check.
five.
You step out into this corridor here. You can see the walls on either side of you are covered in hieroglyphics and a long mural that fills the corridor. You don't see any sign of Ushabti or dwarves in this corridor. But you can see that the tiled floor in front of you has wide spaces around it. You think it might be a good idea to walk carefully here. Didn't hear you. I couldn't hear you. Did you say something?
I said I'll tread lightly.
Okay. So do you want to keep going?
Yes.
All right. I need you to roll me a sleight of hand check.
22.
Very good. About halfway down the tunnel, you realize that the plate in front of you is a pressure plate. And instead of stepping on it, you step over it. A little bit beyond that, you notice another pressure plate. And you carefully avoid this one too.
I think in my kit,
Is it thieves' tools you're looking for?
I don't know. I was thinking one of my kits had like chalk or something in it. I just want to mark
Sure. You
the
can.
plate.
Yep, you can mark right around those. So you've marked the 2 pressure plates that you found. You don't see any more as you make your way down the tunnel, and as you do, you reach the far end of the tunnel and see once again the long, narrow corridor that you saw from before, the one that led off to the one that led to the Guardian's secret burial chamber. So let me move. Learning process here while I figure out how to move all this terrain out of the way.
Very careful.
Indeed. Oh, that's what I do with that. All right. Alrighty. Everybody should be able to see that.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. And again, you can see the doorways in this tunnel.
Now, are these doors that we had already checked?
These are the doors that you
Or-
guys did not check. Right.
I'll go back and go back the safe way. Now that I know
Aw.
where everything is, and let the party know where I've marked is what to avoid.
You don't want to step on the pressure plates and see what happens?
Of course not. I'm not stupid.
Okay. All right, fine. Spoil
What?
sport.
You want to step on them?
No.
Eve,
Okay, then.
Eve, as you step back through the room, I'd like you to roll one more perception check for me.
Is this the trap designed for rogues?
11.
11. As you were making your way back into the room, you were noticing these murals, kind of like you're like looking at the intricate designs. Some of them look very freshly painted. Very freshly painted, as if they were maybe done earlier that day. And as you look, you realize that the murals here tell a tale of a tomb defended by guardians of Anubis. And you can see that on the mural, there are thieves that sneak into this tomb, and the guardians of Anubis break in on them and slaughter them. And then they return to their posts, and they are still once again. And yet again, more thieves break into the tomb of Anubis, and they slaughter them too. And they return to their posts and are still again. And as you reach kind of the end of the mural, the furthest into the hall, right before the doorway into the mortuary temple, you see a band of dwarves enter the tomb. They're poking around. One of them steps on a pressure plate, and the guardians of Anubis step forth from the wall, slaughter the dwarves, and return once again to the wall. And as you look, you realize that the final reliefs in this wall are 10-foot-high images of guardians of Anubis, very, very, very similar to the glowing Ushabti that you saw yesterday. But
Same
they're
height
stone.
and everything.
Same height, they're just stone, and they're like in the wall.
And I'm going to take that as, guys, whatever you do, do not step on the pressure. From what I can tell from the mural across the wall, which is very fresh, if you step on a pressure plate, these things are going to come out again.
Oh, can I?
No!
Oh, I'm so tired. What was that? Ugh. Exhausted.
Step where everyone else is stepping.
Shouldn't we just take a nap or something? I feel pretty tired.
Oh, we're so close to the exit, dwarf. Come on. You
Oh,
can do it.
this is a nice corner right here next to that rat.
Well,
You're being lazy.
Technically, we
Thor-
had a long rest just like
Yeah, but they
months
got-
before.
They got exhaustion.
I
Oh,
know.
I feel like I didn't even get a chance to sleep. I heard I snore heavily. It could be clogging my breathing, airways.
All right, so enough with
Need
the
a
true dog
excuses. Do you
porn.
want to piggyback? You want to piggyback on my back?
It's just,
Do you want to ride?
Ride the dragon.
All right, I'm gonna pick him up and throw him over my shoulders.
oh, I'm fine. Sorry.
I'm still picking you up.
Okay.
The dog's sleeping too. What the heck's wrong with him?
He's got
Someone pick
exhaustion
up-
as well.
Why not
Someone else
help
carry
the
the
dog?
dog.
I'll carry the dog if he needs it. Bard, do you want to be carried?
The
Oh,
helicopter.
Oh.
strong scales you have, mighty dragon. I could just rest so good.
Hands to
Strong.
yourself there, dwarf.
Orn, Melusine, Melusine, Eve, and Gary. Can you all roll me a perception check?
Yep.
$14.
14?
6.
6?
16.
10.
10? Okay. Melusine, Orn, and Gary, all three of you notice as you're looking at Thoric, as he's talking to Orn, and you're noticing how ill he looks, that he has small black scales, much like larger lizard, like dragon ish scales on his neck underneath his beard. He's almost got like a small secondary beard, almost like a half ring around his throat of small little black scales. They're not quite lapping over each other yet, but they were not there the last time you looked, and some of them look bigger than others.
I'm gonna whisper to Melusine, careful, that dwarf has herpes really bad.
Oh,
Flaring
why?
up really bad.
I'm gonna take
Oh God.
his
Must have
claw.
Should we
slept
try
with
to
one of those,
stay?
one
Well,
of
that's
those
what.
dragon-born prostitutes.
When
Hey,
he falls
hey.
asleep,
Isn't that
we
called
can take a
scaly?
knife
Tail.
and shave it off. Oh, scalies, that's right. Yes, scalies.
He's a scary.
We'll cut them off of him when he's asleep and really do him a favor.
Make it canon, Andy. Make it canon.
Yeah.
He's a scary.
Ah.
Should have done that.
Does anyone say anything aloud to each other? Because right now, the only up until right now, Bard was the only person who knew about it. So do you guys just like look at it and like don't say anything? I'm
Kind of
curious.
whispering amongst myself to her about it.
Oh, no, yeah.
That's kind of a
Sleeping
sensitive
at
topic.
the-
Very
I
funny.
thought he was taking a nap, so I was kind of keeping my voice down.
All right. Which way are you guys going?
Subject.
Straight.
Do I need to make a strength check to hold this guy?
To hold Thoric?
Maybe.
No.
Yeah, because I am picking him up.
Yeah. What's your strength? It's like 16.
Yeah.
My strength is a 8.
You're fine. You can carry one person.
Okay.
If you were going to be carrying them, I'd say all day. I might give you exhaustion at the end of the day, but you're just carrying them.
Just once we get out of the temple.
Okay.
Tomb thing.
So, moving down the corridor, all of you return to the way Eve went. You're all able to clearly see the chalk-marked pressure plates, and nobody steps on them.
Nice. Look, there's the double door. We go through that double door.
A couple
we're
of the
out of here.
dwarves angrily glare at the Anubian guards as they walk by, but they keep it under wraps as they drag their massive bags of gold down the hall with them.
So, did we go down this hall?
You've been to the other end of this hall and halfway down this hall.
Look, do we not see the double door?
Calm
So did
down.
we just go in a big
Go on the
circle?
left.
Yes.
You're acting
Yes,
like
go
it's
on,
the gates to
please,
heaven.
You guys have seen you guys have seen the other end of this tunnel, and you can see where you were before, where you found the Tomb of the Guardian. The secret Tomb of the Guardian.
Gotcha. And so on the far, far, far end of the hall, that's where the Bay of Scarabs is at?
Yes.
Right.
I'm going to kind of,
Perspective a little bit
I
here.
guess, scout and look at the doors.
All right. These
Gary's
are
gonna stumble through the double doors.
these wooden doors are preserved by the lack of moisture under the earth. They're almost petrified wood. So long have they been down here. All moisture has been sapped out of the ancient timbers, and you can see that as you like kind of like press on them, they're held together with bronze bolts that run through the door frame.
And Andy, I have a quick question about the murals whenever you have a minute.
Yeah, what you got, sir?
Can I look at them and see, you said that they were painted recently. Did you say what color they were and what does it smell like? Does it smell like paint or something else?
It does not. It does
As
not
a
smell
dog,
like
can
paint.
you see color?
Bard, you don't even need to really roll for this one.
What
but
shade of gray is this? Is it the
50th.
blood shade of gray?
It's a very vibrant, many different vibrant shades of red.
Right, gray.
That's what I was afraid of.
Well,
Smells like gray.
of dried blood.
Smells very copperish.
I think dwarven blood smells like iron,
Ale.
probably iron
Ale.
or ale. Your choice. You're getting some different vintages here, Bard.
Yeah, like iron-soaked ale.
Iron, not ale soaked iron, iron soaked ale.
Yeah,
Delicious.
I think the other way around would have made a little.
Oh.
Hey, it sounds like a T-shirt to me.
What did we lose? Somebody?
Merchandise.
Yeah, we did
We
lose
lost
somebody.
2 people. We lost 2.
I thought something looked weird
Oh,
about
yeah.
that.
Anybody want to do any fan art out there? You do Iron Soaked Ale. Sounds like a nice band name.
No, that's going to be the drink that we make. It'll be
Okay,
like our
yeah.
drink.
In our Adventurers Tavern.
All right.
I'll
So
make it in my toilet. It's great.
is anyone going to open these doors, or are you just investigating them right now?
I'll like open them.
Okay. Which one do you want to open first?
The first one
Okay.
that I came to. So first one beginning the hall.
All right.
I'll back her up.
As you try to like figure out how to open this door, you realize that it has a very crude bronze latch to it, and you're easily able to pull it back. And as you do, the whole door kind of like sinks to the ground a little bit, barely being held up by the hinges on the side. You can kind of
I'm a strong girl. I can
Yep.
get out of my way.
Yep.
What do I see?
Well, your devil eyes see a small room beyond. Very, very small.
Anything in particular
That's not the right one.
in it?
What happened to the, There is a small bed in this room. And on that bed, you can see that there is a sheet. A very white sheet that seems to be in perfect condition. It doesn't seem to have aged at all. Let's open that. But other than that, the
And
room...
That's just.
Yep, other than that, the room is empty.
I
Like,
will go and examine the
Up
sheet.
here? Alright. That's where that goes. As your fingers feel the linen of this sheet, you realize that it has a magical essence in it as you run your fingers across it. It almost feels good to just run your fingers through this sheet. Feels almost like silk. Not
How
quite
big is it? Like, is the bed like a twin size?
big enough for
queen?
one person. It's a very austere room.
I'm going to take the sheet.
Okay. If you would like, you may roll an Arcana check or an Investigate check. Your choice.
I got a 22 on Arcane.
Very good. This, you recall from your studies of the Riverland elves and their death rituals. You believe this is a raiment of stasis. A creature laid upon the raiment of stasis does not age, rot, or otherwise experience entropy. If a creature is
Gary.
if a creature is living while they lay on while they lay on the sheet, they are paralyzed after 1 minute.
Whoa.
That's good for a succubus.
That's good. Shut up.
That is
Think
good.
about that. That's really good for a
seduce
succubus.
people to lay down right there and do a little routine,
Just-
and then
Just lie down
they're
for a minute.
paralyzed.
Just a minute.
It's
I promise you to
perfect.
go after a minute. If you
Perfect.
want to go,
And
you can leave
next
after a
thing
minute.
Perfect.
I'm going to take it, fold it, put it in my bag.
Alrighty.
Anything else special about that bed?
The bed looks very uncomfortable. It's little more than a stone plinth that is wide enough for someone to stretch out on. It's very, very plain.
Okay.
Well, let's go.
So there's nothing else in this room.
Roll me a investigate check. It's
13.
There is etched into the side of the bed in small lettering, like it would have been written like with a blade or something into the stone, the name Tye. Spelled Tyea.
All right. Well, I'll keep that in mind. I'll write it in my little journal, and I'll leave the room.
Alrighty.
Go to next door.
Again, you're able to open this door. Again, a small room beyond, not very well furnished, hardly anything in it, and again, a stone bed, this time without any sheet on it. It's just a stone slab here.
I'll examine it, see if there's anything etched into it like the bed had been.
Now that you're looking for it, now that you know what to look for, again you find another name, different handwriting, again scribbled into the stone, I guess different scratch work, worked into the stone here. This one, Kyrathon. Kyrthon. Kyry.
Well, are you looking for names in here? We're finding names on these sheets, on the beds.
Not so far on the beds.
They belong to the 6 knights, most likely, though, yeah. This temple. If there's 6 rooms here, there might be 6 different beds.
Anyone who wants
There's
can...
3 here.
Actually, I'll just give that one to you, because, yeah, that's your... Those 2 names, everyone except for Eve can remember that those names are familiar to you from someplace else in this tomb.
Right, and we have the jackpots. We have the idols. Let's go put them in and connect the dots. Get electric parties. It's the best feeling ever. Remember the secret room with our golden idols? Yeah.
Wait,
Dark Eye's a little concerned by how excited
go
you
into
are.
the room?
No, they go.
Paul. We have all the idols. You got 2 from the crazy lady. We have 5 on us.
I have 1.
I put 1 in earlier. Right. We have 5, and I put 1 in way earlier.
I've got 2.
Yeah,
We have 3. Where's the other
No, I don't.
2?
I have 1. I put 1 in already. That's 2.
I've
And
got 2.
who got the one? There was 2 on that crazy lady we killed, Neris. She had 2. Who has her bag?
Oh, that means I had 2.
Right. If you picked her bag up, you
So
have 2.
we have
from
all
that.
6. Where's this room, supposedly?
I have
It's right
half
here.
over.
It's right around the corner.
All right. Well, let's check the other rooms out.
Right. Yeah. Still check them out. Right.
All right.
But I'm willing to believe they'll have.
Calm
names
your
in
dentures down, man.
Sorry, I just had an idea. I had to express it. I thought of a thing.
Congratulations.
All right,
That doesn't
what's in
happen
the-
much.
This old brain can work pretty good sometimes.
In
Eve,
the last room.
you open this room to find, again, an empty stone plinth. If you examine the stone plinth, you can see that there is a name, Dorab, D-O-R-A-B, carved into the stone.
Anything else? Just a slab?
Just a stone slab.
I'll take note of that name just as the previous 2 rooms and step back into the hall. Is there no other doors other than going down the hall?
So going down the hall, you can see that there are 3 doors that you guys haven't opened, and there are the 2 passages, one leading to the Guardian's tomb, the other leading back to the treasure room that you guys came from.
I'll still do the same thing, examine the next 3.
Okay. All right. So you walk past the room. I'm going to move everybody down a little bit here. Give me some room.
Pass.
Yep, you're passing the secret passage and the double door to the treasure room, and then there's 3 individual rooms, or 3 doors, most likely like the individual rooms.
So what might
Maybe they'll have more sheets. Some dirty sheets, maybe. Or maybe some brown sheets. Someone had an accident.
I bet you have brown sheets all the time.
Well,
We're talking about all the sheets in the chat.
You have to.
Form.
You gotta season your sheets. If you don't season your sheets, they're like a good cooking pan. You season it real good. I have a really nice.
What did I come back to? Oh my god.
We're talking about seasoning your sheets.
I'm
Gary
gonna
has brown sheets all the time.
keep my comments to myself.
When you leave the party alone for 5 minutes. All right, so you guys can all see that. I shall move. And you guys can see that there's a large room off to the side, which you're all certain is the treasure room, and there's also a tunnel that runs off the other way, which you can recall led directly to the buried guardian. All right, Eve. 3 doors ahead of you.
3 doors down.
Hey, Gary, unrelated question, but are you out of prunes?
Did we establish that?
I'm always
Still haven't you?
loaded with prunes. When have I never had prunes? Worst
Unrelated.
case, I have 3.
Just wanted to know. Just wanted to know if I'm smelling some prune up in your direction.
That's
have
why
3
he's
very
got
ripe
brown.
prunes.
Ooh.
Yes, my prunes are very ripe.
Are we still talking about prunes?
All right.
Something's ripe.
All right. So I'm gonna
body
open
humor.
this next door.
Okay. Eve, as you open this door, a khopesh with its handle rotted. You can just see it has the hide and wood that wrapped the handle are rotting, and there's a not quite sharp, but a polished piece of not polished, the opposite of polished, tarnished, a tarnished end of the blade, of the other end of the blade, the haft that went into the grip, is sticking out of this, and the blade is stuck into the stone plinth, as if it was hacked into the stone plinth.
Someone has.
I'm actually tempted. I want to go see if I can remove it.
So as you approach the bed, there is a inscription carved all the way across the stone plinth in hieroglyphics.
Before I touch the sword or touch it, I want to read that.
It says,
Wow, we have someone smart in our group.
"Here lies my blade, blood drinker. I, the knight Cythereus, waged my war in service to my liege. And here I leave my blade for the next worthy knight who will protect these lands." And then the script changes and a different hand begins to carve underneath it. And it goes, "Be ye warned, should you use this blade against the will of the Pharaoh, a curse shall fall upon thee."
Why we didn't this blade earlier?
Okay. I'm not touching it since, well, we don't have a pharaoh, so I don't know. Or not we, but there's no pharaoh. I'll
Loophole.
read that. Huh?
Oh, I just said that's a loophole.
Exactly, so you should take it.
Yeah, but I'm not a knight.
I will pull it.
Orn,
Yeah, let's say I've read this out loud to
Orn,
whoever came into the room.
I will take it.
are you taking it, Orn?
My precious, yes.
Okay. Roll me a will save.
A what?
A will
Wisdom
save.
save, you mean?
Wisdom. That
You mean a
thing.
wisdom save?
Yes. Why would I say will?
will
What a
save.
crazy thing.
Who?
What the hell's a will save?
I don't know.
William, save me, William.
Does anyone want to give me some good luck?
Fuck.
I pat Thoric on the back. Still care. I'm gonna
Oh,
put
no,
him down.
That's your
You're blessed.
He's
You
still
mean-
carrying you. Come on, help him out.
You
I
pet
think you
him.
still
You
are.
could have pet. You could have
Still
pet the
got
dog
him
for
back.
bardic inspiration. Just saying. But
If you
fine.
want to give me bardic inspiration,
I already blessed you.
He's laying on your back. Be blessed.
I tell you what.
my name is Will.
I'll tell you what, Orn. I will charge the table at 2 for you. That's what I'll do for you.
Well, does that mean I get to roll because the table wasn't charged? I'll take the original. It wasn't good. 7, 8, 9.
9. Orn,
But I'm a good person.
you suffer 6 points of thunder damage and are blasted back from the bed as your hand shakes with tremors. You get the vaguest
Next time
sense.
you won't pet your priest.
Eve and Orn, both of you get the vaguest sense of chuckling coming from the bed. Sort of a.
Oh. It was sexy chuckling, Andy. Come on, do it right.
Is it like, do I recognize it as in like Anubis chuckling or
No.
Sexy
No.
Chuck.
so just whoever cursed it?
I'm going to get up and do it again.
All right.
Ow, that
You're
hurt
okay.
again.
This time I'm going to rub my hands together. Because that's obviously
about-
going to...
Of course. What?
But you're holding me. Did I
You
just
mean you
fall?
didn't rub your hands together beforehand? What were you? Of course. Try
Oh,
again.
looks like I fell.
No,
wait.
I put you down for it.
Yeah. Did Thor
Wait, you
take
did?
any damage?
Oh.
He was on his
He
back when
didn't
he got
drop him.
thunder
He's-
blasted.
He said that he
I put him down earlier. I'm going to go over to the... Sometimes I feel like I'm lucky when I pet the dog. So I'm actually going to pet the dog and say, hey, if you have any good vibes, send them my way. Please.
All right. So the way I'm imagining this is you're coming up, and I'm just kind of like, "What the hell do you want?" And whenever you start petting me, I'm like, "Okay, all right, here you go." My
Accurate.
collar rings,
Accurate.
and you get bardic inspiration, D6.
Switching down. This one might need to get executed. Ooh. 19.
Orn, as you grip the blade, you hear a oh as the
I start laughing.
as you wrench the blade out of the tomb. You hear from the plinth in front of you, filling the chamber around you. It is done.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
Orn, you're up, blood drinker, an ancient elven Kopesh. It's worn, and you'll need to get a blacksmith to refit the hilt before you can use it without disadvantage. But this is a magical
Luckily.
+1 Kopesh.
Malcolm, how much would it cost to get this fixed?
Oh, get me to the surface, and I'll wrap that for you for free there, Dragonborn.
I'll tip you when we get there if you do a great job.
Ah, he's got like a couple bags of gold, and like one he's dragging. Goes, aye. It's all for the
All right.
tips.
Oh, for the tip.
Just the tip.
I live
Moving
off
on
of
to the
tips.
next
Just-
room.
Just the tip.
just-
though.
Wait,
Just the
Just
tip.
the tip.
was there anything else in the room, or is it just the sword and the stone?
It was just the sword and that stone. Did you want to open the next door?
Yes.
Eve, You open this room, again, an austere room, again, a simple plinth. This time, nothing in the room other than the name Tarhes scratched into this tomb, into this plinth. Again, one of the names of the Elven Knights that you recognized from earlier.
And I'll go to the last door.
Alrighty. So you open this one. You see, again, an open room. Very, very simple. Another stone plinth. This one with the name of Sorethes carved into the stone plinth.
Sorthias.
It's
Okay, so there's
Sorathys.
Sorthias.
What the hell did you just say again?
sore thighs.
Ice your neck and sore thighs.
Sorthias.
That sounds like a porn star name.
Type of. Never mind.
Yep.
Sounds
Moving
weird.
on. Moving on.
Some weird techno.
No, let's just move
that's
on.
all 6.
Can we just
All
not
right,
address it? Let's just
so-
move on.
We're adults too.
Uh-huh. Question.
All right,
Ask
so
questions.
the only thing remaining is the secret passage, and then this room. This is the Guardian.
Eve,
room,
as
said Gary?
you're looking ahead down this tunnel, you're all the way back at the end, near the end of this tunnel, and you can see ahead is the blade trap that Orin so cleverly discovered the last time you came down this passage, and beyond that is a cave-in blocking the left tunnel as it there's a T-junction ahead, but the left path is caved in, and you know that the right path leads to the Sea of Scarabs.
Okay, definitely don't want to go that way.
Name, didn't you? It's a
So
good
let's
name.
go to
did.
the room
I
to
did.
put these statues
It may
in.
show up again. All right. Who remembers how to get to the
Well, let's go
statues?
Jackpot. I remember. Follow me.
Just like picturing
lead
Gary.
the way now.
I'm just like
Say-
picturing Gary in the back of the. I remember.
Quick,
Quick, tackle
hurry
him
up
with the
while I
magic
go
sheet.
Fast,
You're terrible.
running
Tackle him with
Y'all
the magic
don't
sheet.
know about the
Dementia
sheet.
said
Oh, sheet.
fast. Just get behind me. It smells better that way.
All right, Gary. Where are you going?
No, it doesn't.
I'm
Lies.
going towards the back left of the room, and I'm looking for that handle to jackpot the door open.
All right. Again, you find the sconce for the torch. And you're able to pull that down, and that reveals the secret doorway, which is right here, which opens into the room.
Gary's gonna run ahead and start trying to put his piece in each one of those holes.
Let's not.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, thanks for that imagery.
Oh, my golden idol!
Yeah, that's what we all call it.
I'm gonna shove my golden idol in the empty hole.
Your golden idol in ball.
It's more like a chess piece.
Oh.
Doing it Rob Gronkowski style. Touchdown.
Oh, the humanities.
Did you say Ron Jeremy style?
No, he said.
No, Rob.
he did not. He did not say that. That is not what he
That's a
said.
stretch.
All right.
My favorite football player.
There it is. I knew I had these things. Ta-da! Secret passageway. Okay, and that room opens up. Bard, this is very familiar to you. You remember being here before. And I'm going to put down the... Yes.
I will be right back.
Wait a minute. So, Eve, you have not seen this part of the dungeon before.
All of this is new to me.
Gotcha.
The whole entire dungeon tomb.
But there is
Why
a
are there
shaft.
tentacles in the chat?
What?
Yeah, we're going back to the room where we found those
It's not that kind of show, Warren.
six little mini rooms that had a
No, I was trying to do the wave.
stone cutout.
Okay. Yeah, I have 6 little stone cutouts. I don't know what happened to the 6th one. It seems to have run away on me. So you'll have to use your imagination, because my best laid plans went awry. All right, there's that one, and the way to the back of the room. Ah, there it is blocked by a large cave-in.
I like that boulder.
Yeah,
Okay.
those boulders.
Cool. I've got plenty of room here to play around with. So that's where all of that ended up, and you guys are right here. So cool. Now we can focus on Gary, who's charged into the room all the way down here. His little statue in hand. Alrighty.
It's a foot long.
And one of those, which one's already filled?
The one directly to the right of the room as soon as you step in. So this one.
And why are we putting these idols here again?
Because it feels good. Feels really good.
All right, Gary, where do you want to shove that idol?
Let's go to the
Well, why should you guys have all the
let's
fun?
go. We're gonna go to the first one I can get to on the left there.
Okay,
I guess.
right,
The one on the
right on the left. Okay, so that would be.
Wait, he doesn't get to do another one, does he? That's not fair.
Jackpot! Touchdown!
Score.
2 people get 2. 2 people are gonna get 2. No matter how you look at it.
All right, Gary.
You're doing a banging job, Gary.
Yep. So again, as Gary, as all of you get shoved out of the way by this elderly orc who makes his way careening around the way with his idol in both hands, swings around the corner, and Gary, here lies this stone altar in a small little alcove here. You can tell that the dust here has not been disturbed in a long time, but in the center of this altar, there's a small depression in the dust where it looks like something was removed and the dust has been reaccumulating over time.
Oh, he knows what's going there.
Touchdown?
He's flexing this time because he's getting ready for like an electrical jolt or
Oh,
something.
are you? Okay. All of you
No,
hear
I'm
Gary
sitting there
scream.
flexing.
Gary, it feels like you're going to burst a blood vessel. Since you were already flexing, you didn't realize that you could flex quite that much. I must say, it feels like your jaw muscles are about to become unhinged as you are desperately trying to put your bottom teeth on top of your top teeth.
Ooh.
Yeah, the pressure is enough that it's almost about to shatter your teeth, which, let's be honest, aren't in the best state at this point.
He has dentures. What are you talking about?
Right. I have 2 teeth.
Orc culture
One,
stolidly refuses to use dentures.
Sorry, Tuskers.
Maybe 3 teeth anyways, so it's fine.
I want to go in there and I want to investigate,
Well,
like read.
Eve, as you
Around?
step around the corner, Gary is erect. He is completely rigid as some invisible force freezes him in place, holding him completely adroit. You didn't realize
the
Gary
freak was
could
that
stand
last
that
word?
straight.
I
Do
need a
what?
freaking dictionary with
You,
that.
you didn't realize that Gary could stand that straight.
All right.
And
did
Dark-
this happen before?
Dark Eye steps around the corner and she goes, "Oh no, My-
Someone kick me.
my bond is fulfilled." And then Gary releases, and and most of him slumps back to his normal sagging state.
Oh, you guys gotta try that. It feels so good. Oh my god. Help me up, Dark Eyes.
Sorry, Dark Eye. He found someone else to put his
that
golden
one
eye
time
on.
we had together.
You're not
Reminds me
sure
of that
what
romantic
Dark Eye
night.
says as she steps forward to assist Gary, but you're certain you think it might be an orcish curse that she utters under her breath as she walks forward
Okay.
to assist the honored elder.
I want to look at each spot and just see if there's like any writing.
Gary, I need you to make a con save.
I thought I don't have that.
No, you.
Don't I not have that? Con saves?
That's right. It's not
He
damage.
can't fail them.
Yeah, so you can't fail them. How does that go?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Tell me I can't fail it.
you can't fail it, and this was a save you couldn't fail anyway. So don't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just go ahead and roll me a
So
con
do you want me
save.
to roll?
I want you to roll a con check. How about that?
Okay.
What'd
A
you get?
con check, I rolled a 14.
Okay. Gary,
Was my release as good as you explained?
a voice in Elven booms through the hallway around all of you. And it says, "This one is found worthy." Gary, you receive +1 to your con score. Your con score is permanently increased by 1.
The one person that
Yes.
doesn't need the con score.
Perfect.
Well, it's just get better.
Seeing how much fun Gary. Oh wait, go ahead.
So well, all of you have already been here before, so let me just go ahead and describe this for Eve and for people who might not have seen this this room before. But as you guys walk forward, Eve, you can see that there is a shaft 10 feet wide in the center of that space that descends into darkness in front of you. As I lose my marbles here. There we go. That's a 10-foot shaft that descends. It's 10 by 10. And you guys,
Okay.
as you walk into this room, Eve, your dark eyes, your dark vision can pick up that there is the reflection of water. No, sorry. There is a kind of a pearlescent reflection coming from the back room. Almost like the inside of a clamshell. In the room straight ahead.
Okay.
And as you look down this, you can see that there are 6 alcoves, one of which that Gary was standing next to. And at the end, there appears to be some kind of tomb set into the wall. Some kind of my mind just went blank. Sarcophagus. But it's smooth and doesn't have any writing or anything on it that you can see at this distance.
Okay, I want to look at each of the 6 alcoves and then look at the sarcophagus.
Okay. As you step forward, you can see that the 2 alcoves immediately on either side of the door each have one of the statues set in them. And Gary's still rigid.
Now,
Yeah,
are there any
I thought I was not rigid.
Well,
are
not all
there
of you.
any like nameplates or anything?
There is writing at the end of the room on the surface of this altar here. As you approach, you begin to see that there is writing there that you can read if you want to.
I want to read it.
Okay. The writing as you approach in Elvish says, "Here lie the ashes of my loyal knights, Sorathes, Tarhes, Sinrethes, Dorab, Kairathon, and Taye. For so long as our souls guard this tomb, for so long shall the land be safe. But should the wards ever fall, desolation shall beset the land."
All right.
And again, as you
I'll
look...
turn to Parium like, did y'all read that before?
Yes,
Not that I remember.
we did.
Yes.
Did we?
Melissa,
yeah.
We did read it.
Yes.
You
Uh-huh.
remembered that Sinrethion is a famous elven knight who left the Sun Throne. Remember, there was a folk tale.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And
Okay.
so he's sort of a King Arthur character to the Sun Elves because he left. Oh, I guess Richard II character.
I'll explain that to her.
Andy,
I
is
guess
there any
what I'll-
poetry about that night that I'm aware of?
There is. It's actually a number of elven folk tales. Do you want to regale them in your bardish ways? Bard? Do you want to howl them one of the poems?
I'll take that as a no.
I guess not.
Bard?
Uh-oh. There we go.
Oh, that's a... Bard takes his poetry very seriously. So seriously that doesn't go the way he wants. He's out! Eve. Bard?
Back.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry, I just lost my headphones, so I had to switch audio devices. Did not hear anything about the poetry, but it was not important, I'm sure.
No, I was going to say there is elven poetry about this character who no one ever witnessed his death, so he lived on perpetually to the elves. I was asking if you wanted to regale the party with some of that poetry, perhaps in doggy.
I start crying.
He won't shut up.
Eve, if you want to, you can examine any of the stone alcoves in the corner.
Yeah,
All right?
I'll do that.
As you do, you notice that they have a small indentation, circular, in the center of that stone altar. Looks like the dust that has settled here and hasn't been disturbed for a very long time has a roughly circular indentation in that dust, where new dust has begun to collect.
I want to blow the dust away
Okay?
and see if there's like any insignia or whatever. Pull out at one of the two statues I have.
Okay?
Gonna walk up behind her and just say, just put it in. Just put it in. You can do it.
You don't see any writing or symbols on this altar.
I'll just lay the statue in the alcove.
In the center?
Yes.
Okay. Which one?
Yes.
There are 4. You need to know which one you want to place it into.
So from where I was standing at the altar, looking out, I want to put it in the alcove to the left. To my
So our north on
Here.
Yeah.
south. Yes, that one.
Okay. Gary, you watch as Eve suddenly becomes very rigid as she places the statue in her hands. Her knuckles.
Yes! You're doing it. Just let it happen.
Her,
It'll feel so good when it's over. Well,
like-
I meant
never mind.
Please don't make me choke
I'll
on my
be good.
Skittles.
the idol feels good. Not whatever you're thinking.
Eve, make me a con save. I roll a con check.
Gotta
Excuse
mute
me.
my mic.
Con check.
14.
14. Alrighty. Alright. Eve, your intelligence is permanently increased by 1. And you are suddenly released from the idol as a voice echoes through the corridor. This one has been found worthy.
Do it again. You got another one? Do it again. If,
Well, we gotta give it to some of the other people. There's other
Oh,
people in this
alright.
party.
Malcolm's like, hey,
You all have one.
I'd like to take a turn if it's
No,
one for all and all for some.
No,
No.
this is not the Musketeers. D'Artagnan!
You have too much gold already, Malcolm.
Oh.
You've got your payment.
All right.
Andy, can we name this episode D'Artagnan? D'Artagnan?
I mean, I don't know why, but
That's
Why
exactly
not?
why we should do it.
What'll happen to the dog? Let's throw the dog on top of one of these at
D'Artagnan.
the same time.
I was preferring rigidly stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually an idol short.
No,
Thanks.
we're not.
We only have,
There's 2,
Well.
and I've got 2.
so that means we only have 3 left.
Are these
you guys should
are
have
these
three
Four
statues
of
we
us
got?
left.
Are these the statues that we got a couple episodes ago? Because I have a statue of Hathor.
That's a different one.
No, that's not it.
Something different.
Definitely was gonna.
Yeah,
jam
so
that in
guys,
the normal.
Andy has
It's-
made this specifically for all of us to be able to use it once, and Gary's been greedy and quiet.
Well, okay.
Whoa, the dog can't use it.
This
How are we gonna give one to the dog?
this is yeah. There was definitely going to be an imbalance from the very first when this was designed. You guys are welcome to use this however you want. In fact, strategically, there's a number of different ways to approach this. But we're gonna go ahead and take our break. It's 8:31. We'll be back here at 8. Let's go ahead and say 8:45, 8:47. We'll say 8:47. Just give yourselves an extra minute here. And you guys can figure out what you're going to do with the remaining 3 idols. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll be back here in 15 minutes. And we are back. So, three idols remain. The party facing 3 alcoves that do not currently have idols. Let me just go ahead and mark those for you guys. He said, realizing that he has handy dandy dice for such a thing. The first one that was taken by Gary many, many moons ago. Second one was just also taken by Gary. And the third one taken by Eve. Alrighty. 3 alcoves to go. Where will you place the next idol? Who will place the next idol?
Well, I will go in there.
I'll do it.
So first up, to
I'll
be clear,
hand an idol to Melistine.
Oh,
who has an idol at this point?
I got 2. Eve has 1, and Thoric has 1.
He
Oh,
does
Thoric
not.
does not have 1.
Oh,
You've got 2. I've got 1.
Okay.
Yep, Thork and the dog do not have idols.
So you give one to Melusine.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
The sick
And I
people don't
have
get
one
no
for
love.
myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pet Bard.
What if you both put the idol?
We'll do it together.
Paw in hand. You can be paw. That's so bad.
What are you guys doing?
It's all right. I'm gonna put one on the.
Yeah.
Anywhere. I don't really care. I'm just gonna closest one that doesn't. Have...
Okay. Orn. You place the idol onto the center one. Swing the fourth. All right. All of you watch as Orn places the idol. Just kind of walks over and like stamps it down into the center of this altar, and then suddenly goes rigid. And as he does,
Does my tail go up?
it does. Orn.
Oh, it's gonna feel real good.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Orn, go ahead and make a con check, please.
Blast off time, buddy.
12.
12. Yep, that's... Orn, your dexterity is permanently increased by 1. And as the energy releases your body, all of you in Elven hear the words again, as Orn is found worthy.
Oh, yeah.
2 idols remain.
I'll go pet the dog since that's what everyone is doing.
Okay.
Pet the dog. Good dog. I think this is part of the ceremony. Don't growl at me. And then I will go.
Like smacks the dog.
Good boy. And I'll go place the idol at one of the empty areas.
Which one, Mel?
The closest one to me that's empty.
Okay.
Top or bottom? Pick one.
She said the closest one, so it's gonna be
Oh,
this
that's
one.
for you to find out, Gary.
All right.
Yeah.
Mel, as you place the idol on the altar, you feel touched in a way you've never been touched before. Your entire body tingles uncontrollably.
Oh, yep, she's feeling it too.
I need a con save. Well,
Oh.
con check. Con check. Excuse me. Con check.
19.
19? Alrighty.
Yeah.
Yep. Melusine, your wisdom is permanently increased by 2.
2?
What? Come on. Yeah, see, I could have
You
got
have to
4.
roll high.
Yep.
Bob's sake.
20. I'm just kidding.
Oh, nat 20. What do you know? I went back in time.
Yeah, if I would have known that I was supposed to roll high, I would have.
Yeah, of course. As the voice recedes, speaking as declaring that Melusine has been found worthy, Mel, you hear an elven voice between your ears, almost whispering into your mind, saying, "Well done, child. Well done. You chose very wisely."
Very pleased with myself. Everyone's proud of me.
1
idol remains. 1 altar does not have its idol. Who places the idol?
The knob should.
Why are
Quick,
you
Eve,
sounding like
do it
Ryan
again.
Seacrest off American Idol?
I don't get that reference. That's unintentional.
But that should surprise.
If I actually am.
Yeah, you are.
Wow. Because it's just a
It's a
cultural
D&D
phenomenon.
idol.
All right.
Hey, Bart should flip a coin.
Or they could do it together.
He's a dog. Why does he need anything?
Malcolm looks at Ben Nab and he goes, "If it's all for one, I think I outrank the slave."
You
What
don't.
about our cleric? Go get the cleric on there.
I'll try. Just, will you wake me up?
Oh yes. Get ready. Your herpes might flare even harder.
Okay, give me the thing.
Don't touch him when you hand it to him.
Yeah,
could all do-
stay away from his neck.
Sorry,
could all do it
Bard.
together.
The old man had a
Go
good
into
meeting.
Yes, gross neck. Your neck is gross.
I don't know what you're talking
So
about.
is Thork
old
the one who's
man.
placing the idol on the altar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thork. The
I'll
idol.
give him the idol.
Okay. Thork, the idol in your
Sorry,
hand.
Bard.
You place it on the altar. All of you watch as Thork places it onto the altar, throws back his head, and dragon fire erupts from his throat,
What?
spraying towards the
Scaling.
ceiling. You can see the scales rapidly begin to expand
Oh, he
underneath his
worships the
throat.
wrong guy.
Whoa!
You see that the scales begin to spread out under your throat. Thork, make a con save.
Holy crap! He got the coolest one.
It's contagious. Don't touch him.
Do not fail.
Okay, Constitution. 16.
As all of you watch, Thork's brow begins to extend, his chin begins to grow more angular. You can see the scales moving up and around his beard, and his eyes beginning to change to have almost a lizard-like bent to them. And suddenly he's released. And in a strangely, almost confused voice, the words of the tomb say, "These ones have been found worthy?"
Are they German?
That's not the accent I was going for, but
Nine.
Yeah, he's ready.
Thorek, your strength is permanently increased by 1, and it feels as though
Dual dragon.
feels as though you are less yourself than you were a moment before.
What a copycat.
Is he taller?
Wow, I'm more lizard than you.
I'm better than
He is a little bit taller, just a little bit,
Take
Wait,
that.
who's taller?
No.
Thork is.
and now distinctly
Oh,
visible.
Oh, not taller than me.
A now distinctly visible sheen of black scales surround Thorik's throat. His brow is now very angular, as is his chin, and you can see that his eyes have a strange quality to them that are not quite dwarvish.
You're a copy
Oh.
dragon.
Somebody's mad. Well, that felt weird. Ugh.
Well, what's up on that? Wasn't there something up there on that altar? Like a cutout or some sort of
There is
pedestal for
indeed
something?
a mount of some kind of ornament that looks like you could set something almost on display in the center of this altar. And any of you who wish may roll an investigate check.
Do I get the history investigation check thing?
No, this is not history.
Okay. Well, that's going to be a big 2.
Ooh.
We've got 13.
13. Bard, you rolling an investigate check for this one?
Yes. 1 second.
Okay.
Oh, that is a failure.
Oren, what'd you get? 5? 5? Okay. We lost Mel.
All right, I'm back.
Mel, what'd you get for your say? For your not for your say, for your investigate?
Hold on. I didn't know I was rolling that because technology. 19.
19. Thork, you?
Got a 2.
All right. You and Gary got it. Man, that is not the first time you guys have matched rolls.
Welcome to the 2 Club.
Brothers from different
Right.
mothers. Melusine and Eve, the two of you, as you investigate this altar, and you see that you're reading the words and the inscription on it, and you're looking at the place to mount this. Eve, something seems very familiar about this. And Melusine, something seems very familiar about the bracket that holds, that was designed to hold something here. And both of you realize it's because you've seen this same bracket before in Reshabet's room. It's a mount for the headdress that Melusine is currently wearing.
Down.
So I like it.
Says you can't take.
Right, what she said. Just the tip, remember? Just the tip.
All this stuff in here is magic, and if I give it my hat, I won't get it back.
Well, it's just the tip. You just put it on, and then you can pull it off if you feel uncomfortable.
Not going to work, but I am kind of curious to see what will happen.
Exactly. We all are.
I do look really good in it.
You do look really good in it. It's a fantabulous hat. /
Eve, I need you to do it for me.
headdress.
I can't. You're going to have to take it off my head. I can't do it.
You'll
All
need
right.
to decrown her, or whatever that term is.
I'll take it. I'll take the crown and I'll go put it in place.
As you do, it snaps into place as if it belonged there. Instantly, the entire tomb glows warmly. You're not electrocuted, Eve. The entire room glows a warm, bright white light, and the hieroglyphics and the walls and the murals all shine a little bit brighter. It's almost as if the tomb is restored just by the presence of this headdress that rests here. And a sweet elven voice says to you all, yes, you have all done well. Your reward awaits you just upstairs. You should take your spoils and the gratitude of the fair of the Riverlands, for you have done well to restore the tomb and 6 knights. They shall now watch over this place on the evil that was buried here.
Just one question. How do we get up exactly from where we are?
Oh, the elevator shaft is right behind you, Orc.
Perfect.
I suggest you take this headdress with you. It should prove of some value. But leave the knights in this place. Their walls are restored, and the magical network here will hold the evil one in his place.
I grab that headdress and put it back on my head
Okay.
real fast.
Well, see, there you go. Just the tip worked out.
Eve, Melusine, the same elven voice says in your mind, yes, well done, my dear, well done. You have done well to restore this place.
No, I can't say. I was just going to say, thank you.
Well, let's go look at the elevator.
Alrighty.
What's an elevator?
Let's go get our bounty of
a
jackpot
lift.
awaits upstairs.
It's
Better
a
we have
lift.
treasure.
Dragon. Oh my god, I have paint
We've been
all
on
over
the elevator before in this campaign.
You have?
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
There we go.
Is the elevator magically restored here, too? Or is that still broken?
It's not. Eve, as you look down the shaft, anyone with dark vision can clearly see the wreckage of what looks like what could have been an elevator. Strangely, it looks recently burned to you, Eve. You're not sure what that is all about. Who would have set fire to the remains of an elevator?
I'm an ice dragon. Don't look at me.
Was this something from the journal?
From the journal?
This might have been something we might have did. Well, see, we
I
couldn't
have-
see down below, so we threw a torch, and then we lit the elevator on fire.
And when I look up, what do I see?
You can see that the shaft continues vertically, and you can see that there is something up there 60 feet above you, just at the edge of your visibility.
A rope?
Mm-mm. No, ma'am.
So
Can
how
I,
was the
poop up there?
elevator
Sure, Bart.
raised?
Poof! Bard, you appear 60 feet up in a hall. And I'm out of...
Damn dog is gone again.
I lost my 10 by 10 shaft here, so we're just going to use this one instead.
How do
Devin's-
you lose the shaft?
How do you lose a 10 by 10 shaft?
I
That's
knew
a
it.
pretty big shaft.
I just had to look at your square and damn it, I was gonna hold it together.
What?
It's pretty tough to lose a 10 by 10 shaft.
Yep. I walked right into
I've
that one.
never lost 10 by 10.
All right. The room in front of you opens up into a four-way passage, Bard. Try to fit all of this on the view. Actually, I can do a little bit better. There we go.
Yeah, you can probably get rid of that room.
You know, I probably can't. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that room. You guys can let me know if you want to go back in there, but for now, I'm just going to get it out of the way because it's kind of in the way.
Let's just not go back in there.
All right.
We're fine.
The server might take a while to reload that room if you decide you want to turn around and like go running back in there.
Fair enough.
I feel like there might be some lag.
Server lag.
Bard, from your position, you can see that there is a stone door at the end of the hall here.
All right. Let's see. Is there any any rope or anything up here?
Now, name one thing you'll use that rope for. You have dark vision, Bard, so you can see that there are some very, very thin scraps of rope that hang from the ceiling up here.
Hmm.
They look very, very old.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So. I guess I'll go peek at that door. Is it does it look like it have a handle or something on it, or?
As you step forward to the path here, you can clearly see that there are grooves in the floor, as if something heavy was dragged from this direction.
Hmm.
There we go. And you can see there's a room here that there are heavy... But there's a room off to the side that you can see into, Bard. And that room appears to be some kind of shrine. But you can tell that something is missing from the middle of it, and there are drag marks going down this way to this shaft where they disappear.
Gotcha. So it looks like something got dragged and pulled down the shaft or something?
Yep. Looks like something got
Okay.
dragged to the shaft and then disappeared. Must have been very heavy to leave deep grooves into the ground.
Hmm. Gotcha. All right. I'm gonna go back to the edge of the shaft and poke my head over and give a little yip down the shaft. Yep.
You mean they yeet?
Well, we all know that call. He wants us to come. That's his yeet call.
It's the call of the yeet.
That is not what I would have
That's
think.
a peaceful, friendly yeet. It means it's safe.
All right, Andy.
Ma'am.
I just look at them down the shaft like, you guys can do this too, right? You coming?
Andy, I'm gonna fly up.
Mm-hmm.
Up the shaft and land. Do I see like a pulley type thing where I could put rope?
From what you know about the elven construction, this kind of tomb would have probably had some kind of pulley system that operated the elevator here. All you can see are grooves set into the floor where the roughly pyramid-shaped apparatus would have been laid into the ground here, but you don't see it anywhere. It's gone.
So there's nothing ceiling.
The only thing that's not hanging from the ceiling are just some scraps of rope.
So they're not attached to a pulley or anything. They didn't have anything to do with the elevator.
There is a pulley in the ceiling, set into the ceiling, and the rope is like hanging over it, but it's less than 10 feet of rope.
I think I've got.
It's a 50-foot rope.
Yeah, 50 feet as well.
Gonna yell down. Does anyone have any extra rope?
I have 50 feet. I have 50 feet on me.
All right, I'm gonna fly back down, tie all of the rope together, and then I'm gonna fly back up and put the rope over the pulley, and I guess tie it. Is there any place where I could tie it?
If you're just putting it over the pulley, all you need to do is just hold on to the other end of it up here, and people can climb up on it. Unless you're trying to actually like pull them up one by one.
No, I was just gonna tie it and let them climb up one by one, but I guess I'll hold it till. I'll tell them one at a time. I'll hold the rope as y'all climb up.
Alrighty. Nothing goes wrong, so if you guys want... nothing attacks you while you're doing this, so if you guys want to go up the shaft right now, you can. Was there anything
I'll
you guys
go
want
up
to do
the
in
shaft.
What do I look like to you? Do you expect me to just climb this rope?
Dark Eye will take care of you.
Dark Eye looks and she goes, "Do not worry, honored elder. I will carry you."
I love it when you talk to me that way. I don't know.
She wraps you in her strong arm, and with the other arm pulls you both up the rope.
That's incredible.
Gary's gonna smile and wave down at everybody as he's getting carried up.
What a dope.
Like a little kid.
I'm gonna flip off Thoric.
What happened? Where are we going?
You're all up. You all arrive in the top level.
Where's our present?
Are you asking the headdress?
Yes,
I'm
she
just
is the one
thinking
who
out
knows.
loud, but if the headdress answers, it answers.
It's probably out here somewhere.
Just go over this. Walk ahead.
I'll
To make sure it
I'll walk
shows it.
ahead looking for traps.
I'll leave that up to me.
I'm interested in treasure.
Orn, which way are you going? When you arrive at the
I'm
junction.
gonna go to the center, to the crossroads, and look right,
Okay.
and then look left.
All right. As you look right, you see that there appears to be an altar directly opposite you at the end of this corridor.
Okay.
As you look left, you can see clearly the image of a sarcophagus in that room.
Well, I'm gonna go left.
Any of you who wish may roll a knowledge history check.
Ooh, history.
I know
Do
no
I get
history.
advantage on this one?
Hmm?
Do I get advantage on this one then?
You do get advantage, but
16.
not for the reason you're thinking.
Minus 20 with disadvantage.
There we go.
7 with disadvantage.
Why would disadvantage?
Don't I still have exhaustion?
Oh,
He's
yes.
super
That's,
exhausted.
yes.
I'm so sleepy. I forget what I read.
Thank you. Mel?
I also rolled a mod 20.
Okay. Mel?
16.
16. Orn, did you say? I missed what yours was. 5? Okay. Eve, Mel, Bard, and Gary. All of you remember that in Sazim's journal, he distinctly remembered that Aki, the lizard folk cleric, warned them about the sarcophagi that they found on this level.
And Warren said he's going left towards the sarcophagus.
Yes.
But
Warren,
don't go
get
to
back
the-
here now.
What?
Don't touch the sarcophagus.
Just read this journal real quick. Look at this.
What's
See,
wrong with
right-
the sarcophagus?
Read all about
Right
it.
here, on,
warned
right here
against
on,
it.
on page 2, paragraph 3, it says, this is bad. Bad sarcophagus.
Why is it bad?
It kills you.
What? How can a sarcophagus kill you?
Whatever is inside of it could kill us.
Well, I'll kill
Not
it.
kill us, really. I mean,
Well, let's just hit our jackpot first. And
Okay, well, I'll go in the room and look and see if the
The-
jackpot is in there.
Don't touch the sarcophagus.
I won't touch it. I'll just look.
The entry from the journal was that Sazim said that he was unable to breach the pair of stone doors, and Benfu suggested that they take the great black dog statue, but its weight broke the elevator, and Sazim only narrowly avoided falling to his death.
Oh,
They found a simple room marked with a simple sarcophagi marked with strange symbols, which Aki warned them to avoid.
okay. I'll go with Orn into that room and read the sarcophagus.
There are 3 sarcophagi in this room. Each of them is marked with elvish. It's the entire surface of the sarcophagi. Unlike most sarcophagi, which have like a death mask on them, these have no death mask. They look like no person. Instead, they are a solid block of text. Curses and curses and curses, all in an ancient elven writ of hieroglyphic and Riverland elf, are laid one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other. They're written on top of each other so that it's almost illegible. But you get the
So
distinct...
all 3.
All 3 of them. They are encrusted with gold leaf, though.
So Orn, don't open. These have layers upon layers of curses written.
Why can't it just? Why? How come gold can't be laying up there?
Are your dragon tingles going off?
Are my dragon?
Your dragon tingles are going off, Orin. Your dragon tingles are going off for these sarcophagi, but really, they're pulling you directly towards that door.
That was straight ahead.
The door that was straight ahead.
I'm gonna go to the door.
Okay. Orn,
Yes.
as you approach this door, you notice something about this door that you haven't seen on any of the other doors. This solid stone door has a strange indentation in the very center of it. A roughly, a very smooth, I don't want to say rough, a very smooth half circle is set
Take
into
out
it.
the orb of guardian orb and throw it in there.
As you press the orb of the guardian into it, the doors smoothly slide apart, and all of you look on and wonder as Orn is taken by 3 crossbow bolts that as the doors
Worth it.
That was good.
Boromir.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He started blowing a horn. Where did he get a horn?
All right. The room beyond opens up in front of you. All of you can see the room is richly filled with treasure. Did I measure that? I did not measure that. Nope. Oh, that's what I did with them. It's because they were right in front of me. It's always the best place to hide things from yourself. Take note, boys and girls.
T-Rex.
All right, I'm gonna walk in there and I'm gonna shut the door and hoard my gold.
You are terrible.
I am a dragon. Born.
You don't see a way to shut the door here, Orn.
What'd you say?
You don't see a way to shut the door here. You do see 4 columns. So is everyone going forward, or are you guys hanging out near the elevator?
Let's go to the treasure room.
Forward.
I'm gonna go forward.
I want to check out that altar.
Okay. So Eve's going to check out the altar.
Treasure.
I'm gonna hold back and keep you from going in until we're all ready.
Eve, you step into a shrine to Anubis. 4 statues, each of smaller Anubis heads in black marble, are set into the 4 corners of this room. At the end,
One.
at the very center of the room, there is a clearly disturbed space in the dust that covers the tomb floor here. Looks like something not very long ago was removed from this place and dragged out of this room, carving deep grooves into the stone flags.
I want to take the rope and fly down the shaft to the very bottom and see if that statue is down there.
As you arrive at the bottom of the shaft, you find a caved-in tunnel opening in front of you. Small spaces open up in the stones. You think maybe you could crawl deeper into the tunnel, but as you're standing on top of this rubble here, you start, piling it aside, and sure enough, underneath it, not chipped, not broken, is a solid black marble statue of Anubis.
How heavy does this?
Probably close to a ton. It's very big. Very heavy.
With the combined rope, if I tie it around a certain way and fly up, try to pulley it up, can we get it up?
You can certainly try. You've got a pulley up there. You've got dwarves. How much rope does everyone have?
So I have
50 feet.
Bard
I think we have
looks like he's got an
150
idea.
tied together.
Sorry, I was just calculating how much weight one pulley will reduce.
That's a good question. I'm sorry, Eve, what'd you say?
I said, I know we have 150.
150 what? You're cutting out.
150 feet.
150 feet?
Yeah.
We have 150 of rope.
All right. And you're 120 feet from the surface. From the base to the top of the shaft.
Yeah, we need more pulleys, guys. One is not enough. We have to have a equivalent force with one pulley.
I think I have rope.
Bard, can you poof the thing up?
Poof the rope up?
No, poof the statue up.
Bard can. We've established that Bard can carry something in his mouth.
Yeah.
When he poofs.
We could break it into a bunch of small pieces.
Eve is. How are you suggesting that, Bard?
Yeah, I mean, it can fall down a shaft and apparently not break, so...
Yeah, what he's saying is, how are you going to suggest that we need more than one pulley?
Oh, this is just going in my, in my own internal monologue.
Okay, so we have no idea.
Well, I mean, I don't know if Bard would know
but
that.
if it's
Bard looks
Marvel,
unenthusiastic
it's
about your
one
chances.
Old pulley. It's not gonna.
What
I
was it,
was,
Andy?
for some reason, I thought that one pulley would reduce the amount of force you would need, but apparently it does not at all.
At all?
No, you have to. It's
you gotta
basically like you'd have to have a counterweight essentially to lift it up. With
Huh.
one pulley, it has to be equivalent force exerted on the other side.
The more you know.
But if we had two pulleys, then we could cut it in half.
Eve.
Well, is an equivalent force not like 8 people or 9 people?
Well, I mean, if all of us weigh however much this weighs, we could all jump on the opposite end of the rope and see what happens.
Yes. The dog's brilliant.
I don't think we weigh enough. We don't weigh. We don't weigh 2 times. Or we don't weigh.
Hanging on the other end of the rope.
I'm just
2,000 pounds.
picturing this one as all 9 of you pull jump into the shaft together, pulling on the rope. I'm picturing the pulley just like yanking out of the ceiling.
Yeah,
Success.
probably more like.
I don't think we're getting the thing up here.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting it up there either.
But I fly back up,
Mm-hmm.
go into a room, apologize for the disturbance of the room. I could not get the statue back up here to set things right. I tried, but we are ill-equipped to do so.
Are there any extra pulleys anywhere?
You don't. How do you want to ask that, Bard?
Oh, I'm just looking. I'm looking
He's
for places.
searching himself.
Where are you looking?
I'm still at the top, right?
Yep.
Is there just that one pulley there?
It's just that one pulley set in the ceiling.
I guess I look down the hall. Are there any other pulleys mounted anywhere?
No, sir.
Are there any pulleys down at the crash site?
It's an interesting question, Bard.
All right, can I like poof down there in stages, like
Sure.
60 feet?
Sure.
And-
You're not under stress. Bard, as you sniff around in the rubble, you find one other pulley that's intact. The other one is wrecked. You find 2 pulleys. One of them is charred and broken, and the other one is still intact.
Is it mounted anywhere, or is it just lying around?
It's just lying on the ground.
Is it big enough? Can I fit it? Like, is it loose? Can I fit it in my mouth?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take the pulley and poof over to Malcolm with it.
Hey! Oh! Well, good.
Just drop
Good.
it in at his feet.
Good dog. He like reaches into his pouch, pulls out a gold piece, reaches into another pouch, pulls out some silver pieces, reaches into another pouch. He pulls out some beef jerky, and he gives that to you. Good dog. The dog found. The dog found. Look what the dog found. Another pulley.
Yeah, Malcolm,
Oh,
is there any
brilliant.
way that you could possibly get the statue up here?
Oh, I suppose I could nail some form of joist into the floor here, attach the pulley into the side, and then we work up a rope cinch between the 2 of them.
Right, do your dwarf thing.
But I didn't know if we have enough people to be pulling the. Oh God! Yeah, aye, just like that dog. My, what a smart dog he is.
Clear schematics.
His Bard's like drawing geometry on in the dust.
Apparently, I learned mathematics. I mean, it's for music, man.
Nice.
Music theory is all math based.
It is math based, very much.
All right, it takes
So
you
how long
guys.
is it going to take to do that?
Takes you guys roughly an hour for Malcolm to and his 2 remaining dwarves, who work quickly, to
Short rest.
erect this very crude pulley system of 2 pulleys. And together with their rope and yours, you'll be able to basically pull the rope back towards the open room that you guys haven't gone into yet, and lift this thing up the shaft. All right, so
So you said it was a ton, right?
what?
You said it was about a ton?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, so that only cuts the weight in half.
Right. There are 9 of you, so that's 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, so
All
each person a little over 100 pounds each.
Right. Should be. I mean, I've never
Hey,
done it.
We got
but
it.
I'm
It's
thinking
fantasy.
it's doable.
We can do this.
All right. So I need a combined strength check. Everybody roll strength.
How are the knots gonna get through the pulley?
Dark Eye's helping. You
Nat
get
20!
all of you watch as Gary's like tugging on this rope, and he's just not even really doing anything. His arms are shaking. It is sockets.
Wait, you asked for a strength check?
Yes, and Dark Eye like wraps around him and just starts pulling back,
Oh, like
arm over
ghost.
arm.
I rolled a 15. Get some.
I got a disadvantage 16.
That's right.
Put hands on my hips. I'm strong.
7 from the dial.
I
Bard,
got
you're at the
14.
very end of the rope, tugging with all your toothy might. Eve, was that 17 you said?
14.
Hey, Andy, the chat rolled 20.
21.
The chat rolled 20? Oh, that's good. That's good. That's always good.
Gotta count for something.
Always a huge influence in the factor. Oren, what'd you get?
21.
Very good. All of you pulling together, watch as the pointed ears of Anubis rise in the elevator shaft in the space. And the last dwarf runs forward, grabs onto it, and pulls it to the edge. And the statue of Anubis rests at the top of the shaft.
Okay, now we gotta figure out how to drag it back into the room.
Just roll it. Put it on
More
its side
pulley.
and roll it in.
Does anyone have
Use
butter?
some butter.
We could butter the floor and
Any
slide
grease?
it.
Regrettably, it has
Some
square
nice
sides,
butter.
Gary, so I'm not sure that would work out well.
What we could do is attach ropes around it and pull from different angles and wobble it back and forth.
4 people dragged that out of this room. All of you working together are able to push it back in, I'll say. That takes you about an hour. Imagine, if you will, moving an awkward couch that stubbornly refuses to fit the way that it should through this
I know
space.
exactly what you're talking about.
You get some.
Andy, it sounds like you have some
Sounds personal.
PTSD
I'm fine.
regarding some
I'm
kind of
fine. I'm fine. We're all gonna live this dream together.
Actually, I have a couch that needs moving. Do you think you could?
That's not. Regrettably, you're breaking up, Aaron. I can't hear you. It's really choppy. You might want to reset your mic. You get it back
Right,
as
Did it? Did it? Thank
as
you, chat.
as the statue of Anubis slides.
3 minutes later, Andy.
As you slide the statue of Anubis back into its place, back into its rightful place in this the Shrine of Anubis, the entire shrine darkens, going very, very dark. And around
Oh crap! It's the wrong one.
around all of you, including the dwarves, including Dark Eye, you feel the dark presence of the Lord of Death. You all hear you all hear a voice that seems to emanate from the very center of that shrine as glowing green eyes appear in the air on either side of the statue of Anubis. And the voice says, "Well done. Well done. You've all proved yourselves able and capable associates, and worthy worshippers of the god of death. You have restored not only my temple to me, but my shrine, and I do not soon forget service rendered. I grant you all a stay on your inevitable journey to me." All of you gain 1 free death save, which you can use anytime you want.
Great.
1 success.
Some of us will be using that.
Can we
Some of
give
us-
all of ours to Melusine because she's probably gonna need.
I should really consider that. I should really let you guys consider like spending death saves for characters who want to die.
No, you already made your decision.
Oh no, I'll spend mine. She's good. She's good.
Could we potentially start a death pool?
You could.
Deadpool.
I am very well pleased in all of you. Go forth. More of my shrines have been defiled. My brothers and sisters, long have our people not been honored in this place. I and they wait for those who honor the old ways, and we will restore to them our boon. All right.
Let's get to the
Is there an
town.
exit? Is there like an exit after we get our gold?
The room grows a little bit lighter, Melusine, but you don't hear the presence of Anubis anymore in this place.
Great.
But you feel it.
Right, well, let's get some gold and then get the hell out.
Just like that.
You heard some weird howling. That was our dog having a sounded.
Baby.
At the end of the room lies at the end of the hall lies a long room into which some of you can see the pillars and what appear to be chests on the ground beyond those pillars.
You mean like chests of treasure, not like just people's chests, right?
Yes.
It's not like
chests
chopped up
of-
bodies.
Nope.
This has literally been the dirtiest episode we've ever had.
Oh.
Talking about
I
shacks and
chopped
bitches
up
and
bodies.
just the tips.
Telling me I'm erect.
All right.
I mean,
What do you guys want to do?
Did Gary ever get unerect?
I want to go get some treasure.
Nope.
I'm going to
Stay
use my
tuned.
dragon
Permanently
beetle
erect.
to find the most purest treasure.
Okay. Orn. As all of you step into this tomb, the tomb is a glimpse into a time long forgotten. Hides of great beasts form a carpet between 4 columns of finely polished marble. Along the north wall, Pharaoh's instruments of war lay ready over a long, outdated campaign map. In the center of the southern wall, Pharaoh's tomb rests between a stuffed crocodile and a stuffed lion. Meanwhile, to the east, Pharaoh's war chariot faces a pair of stone doors as if ready to charge.
I want the chariot.
All right, Melusine, you're going to check out the chariot. There's a table of arms, and there's a sarcophagus.
I want the chariot.
All right. Anyone? Where sorry, that's Mel's move. Thork, where are you going?
I'm gonna go check out the tomb and just kind of inspect it, see what's going on with it.
Okay.
Not really touch it, just inspect it.
Yep. I'm going with Thorg.
Okay. Gary and Dark Eye. I'm just going to leave the NPCs out for this right now. So that's Gary. Bard, where are you going?
I'm going towards the most interesting smell in the room.
Would that
Gary.
you smell reptile,
Going
cat,
behind me.
and rotten,
Gary.
possibly dead orc?
Wait, you said cat?
Yep. Cat.
Where? There's a fucking cat in
It's a
here?
stuffed lion.
You just drop the F-bomb.
There's
Where's the cat?
Yep, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one for the night. No more.
Fuck.
It's appropriate because I'm going to kill that cat. Where is it at? Where is it at?
So Bard does a stuffed lion on the east side of the sarcophagus.
Oh, I'm going to go tear it up.
All right.
Bard, you can't kill the cats. The
the-
cats are the guardians
knew
of
what
the
you were gonna
underworld.
say.
The priceless pelt of this long stuffed and well preserved lion is destroyed. So as all of you are like poking through the treasure and whatnot, in the background you're like hearing Bard slam this lion against the wall, tearing the mane to shreds, just completely
shaking
wrecking this
his
thing.
head.
Taking a piss right in the middle of the taxidermy stuffing. Bard is just going to town here.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Can I skin the alligator to make some shoes?
There's a stuffed crocodile right on the other side.
Yeah,
of
that's the
altar.
one. I wanna take its skin and I wanna have
No,
it
dudes.
All right, but
for it.
do you want to leave the,
Hey, hold on.
the
We're
chariot?
going in order
Hold
here.
on, hold
This is
on, hold
order.
on. So, Orn, where are you going?
I'm using my dragon tingle to find the purest treasure.
That's a good question.
I'm gonna do that.
You know you have it good if you're looking for the purest treasure.
The purest treasure happens to be in your pants already.
Well, that was an unexpected compliment from Gary.
The sphere. This golden sphere. I hope you put it back in your pants.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Right.
Oh.
What's wrong with you young people? He said it was the most precious thing he's ever seen, and it's in his pants.
Purest, not precious. Purest.
Hey, what's the difference?
There's it's not.
Andy's dying.
It's not pure.
That was well played. Props, Gary. Well done. Eve, where are you going?
You said there was you.
Do I not find the purest treasure?
Hold on. Oh, I thought I said where you're going. You're going over to the war table which has the rack. Yeah, that's what happened. I started laughing at Gary's joke. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's a rack of armor on top of the table, and there are weapons set out next to it. You sense the strongest.
I'm drooling already.
You sense the strongest wealth from that. It's almost
Ice cubes start dropping out of my mouth.
So I would describe it. The sensation is almost blinding, although your sense doesn't involve your sight. You feel as though your sense is being almost overwhelmed by it.
My dragon table is like all over the place.
It's getting it's coming from multiple directions, but the strongest direction is coming from this. Eve, where are you going?
I've actually wanted to. Are there any like scrolls or writings or books or anything?
Yes, there are. There is an ancient map that is laid out across the table towards the one that Orrin is heading towards. And
I'm gonna go look at that map.
Okay. So we'll start with Melusine. Melusine, you arrive at this very well-preserved chariot. Doesn't appear as though it's worn. Maybe it's been out in the sun or anything. It is remarkably well preserved. And as you step forward, your elven senses let you know that there is a magical tingle to this chariot. It is preserved because of its magical, because of the magical energy that still moves on it.
It's wooden, I assume, right?
Hmm?
It's wooden, I assume?
Yes, it is a wooden chariot. As you step up into the chariot, the chariot hovers into the air underneath you, rising 3 feet off the ground.
Yes, I want this. This is mine. I'm taking it.
In a harness next to the wheel, you can see that there is a holster that has 3 javelins set into it.
Hell yeah. No more walking for Melusine.
This chariot can seats 2 comfortably and can carry up to 4. And now it happily jumps up onto it and goes, "My lady?" He is.
Go give me the skin of that alligator, and this is how we're going to ride from now on. But I want the boots.
Go get the gator.
Go get that alligator skin. Whatever the hell it is.
Listen, you uneducated swine. It's crocodile. Crocodile. Crocodile and alligators are different things. They're different.
I don't care what it is. I want it skinned and turned into shoes.
Oh
what the hell's a crocagator?
A crocagator is what this thing is.
It's a crocagator.
That dragon ancestor over there. Skin it. Bring it to me.
All right.
I'm going to make it into boots.
Do not touch my ancestor alligator skin.
Is that really
crocodile?
That's really what you want to go for. You actually
Rocks
want to
fall,
claim
everyone dies.
I just want to see Andy have a brain aneurysm again.
The crocagator.
All right. Moving on.
Cocaine.
So that suddenly the wheels fall off the chariot. It no longer works, Melusine. Sorry. Thoric.
Fine.
Thoric. This sarcophagus, and it's a little hard to concentrate on the sarcophagus here, is all the racket that's happening right to the left of it as Bart is just tearing this lion to shreds. You definitely get the sense that this is a very important elf. You speak Elvish, right?
Yes,
And we
I do.
established that it was the Riverland elves that you speak. You are certain that this is the tomb, that this is the sarcophagus, the final resting place of the pharaoh Nephera.
Ooh. Who that?
Roll a knowledge history check if you would like.
Let's do it. Knowledge me.
Can I do it with
hold
him
on, let me
since
do
I'm
this.
standing next to him?
You are sitting next to him. Yes, sir, you may. And that's with advantage.
Yeah, I mod 21.
Okay, let me get. This is on history, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 7. Weird.
Thork, you've never heard of Nephra before, but Gary, somehow this name is familiar to you. The name Nephra is somehow familiar to you. And in your mind, you hear a distinctive
Did you say something? In my mind, I hear what?
You heard a distinctive sigh. A very heavy
I heard
sigh.
a sigh.
Yep. A very heavy sigh.
Well, let's get this thing open, why don't we? Come on. Give me a hand. You push. That side, I get this side.
Inside,
You know what the tomb is?
Inside your mind, you hear, no,
Oh, I
Gary,
know it.
no.
Wait, no, hold on.
It is death to disturb the final resting place of our pharaoh.
Alright, hey, just you open it. There's probably some cool stuff in it.
I don't think I want to open it, Orc. It looks like a type of special tomb, and I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good idea.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. I heard a voice in my head told me not to do it, but that's why I asked you to.
Wait, what voice? You hearing voices again?
Yeah, I've got like 5 voices in my head, man.
Can you carry me over to that corner?
It's a racket in there.
You're the cleric. You're supposed to help me. Something's wrong with me too. That guy touched my head.
I'm just gonna
Make me feel
lean. I'm
weird.
just gonna lean on Gary and take like a little nap and
Oh,
just
man.
slowly just start falling asleep.
Dark Eye sighs heavily, and you feel that she's reached a new low in her life as she watches the two of you. Orn,
Poor thing.
you
There's another
arrive.
treasure chest.
Orn, you arrive at the table. On the left, and in a rack, an ornate suit of gold-plated armor, half plate, rests here. On the table next to it, with an ivory hilt, a golden enameled khopesh, very ceremonial, but very beautiful nonetheless, lies underneath it.
Take it.
You're getting a very, very strong magical presence from both of these.
You just got armor.
I take off I strip nude and put on the new armor.
It's a dragonborn, so does anyone even notice?
Good thing.
It's retractable.
Yeah,
I've never
the
seen
wheel
that
parts
skill
are
before.
retractable.
Retractable.
We know. Anyway,
What
also
a little scale.
also on the table next to it is a ornate war bow.
I don't care about the bow.
Okay.
Somebody else can.
So roll me an Arcana or an Investigate check, Orn.
Does the armor look like it will fit me?
No, it looks like it'll fit an elf. So you'll need to have it adjusted, but that takes a day at a good blacksmith. If only
So
you knew
you
a
got
really good
naked-
blacksmith around.
Can someone that knows magic tell me what this is?
If you wake me up, I could tell you.
I'm
Eve, you're
coming
right
at
there.
the table, so
Yep.
I got a 50.
15?
Yes.
Okay. Eve, you're certain that Pharaoh's armor is magical. It's +1 half plate, and there's a resistance to heat to it. While wearing it, the person is resistant to heat damage.
Yes.
All right. The khopesh.
Call dibs.
The khopesh is not magical, but it is incredibly valuably made. It's made of very valuable things. It's sort of like a weapon-shaped piece of jewelry.
So it would not qualify. From my military experience and all that stuff, I could tell that this is more of like a ceremonial.
You would never want to use
Blade
this
rather than-
as a weapon. You could.
As a weapon.
You could use it as a weapon. It has weapon properties to it, but it is very valuable in its own right.
If I use it as a weapon, I would value.
You would devalue it, and there's a chance you can see that from its manufacturing, it's fragilely made, so it could break if something went wrong.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, the warbow, Eve, is a magical warbow. Is a +1 warbow, and does, in addition to the 1d8 piercing of a normal warbow, 1d6 radiant damage.
I shall take that.
It has a minimum requirement of 14 strength, and otherwise the normal properties of a normal longbow.
No! Wait a second. I've been using a longbow at 12 strength.
Normal longbows don't have a strength requirement. This one does.
Oh. Well.
Get you buffed up.
It takes forever to get buffed up.
Level 4.
We're already there.
We are at level 4.
Yep.
Well,
you guys get attribute improvements at level 4. And
I
level
sent a
3.
message saying to level up.
No, man, we leveled up, sir.
Oh,
shit.
But she already did her
Yeah.
stuff, so she can't.
So can't do it again till level 8.
I communicate in a vacuum. All right, so that's.
But I'll take it just in case. But I want to look at the map.
Okay. The map has several places marked on it. It seems to chart Nephira's campaign. In fact, all across this map are written a series of notes. But as you watch, the map rapidly begins to darken. The splotches of writing begin to burn out faster than you can read them. It's almost as if someone is scratching them out while you're trying to read them. As you watch, the entire canvas begins to grow these black blotches all over it. As it does, the only one that you have time to read, the only one you catch a glimpse of just before the darkness takes it, is the city of Imen Shadet.
So the map is just going black. It's not
The image. So
morphing into anything.
you still have the map, but
Mhm.
there is some kind of magical obscurity that has tainted the surface of this map.
I'll roll it up and take it with me.
Okay.
I wonder if those scholars that are recovering back at our base knows.
An interesting conjecture there. All right, so
Is,
Thork. Sorry?
I was going to say, is there any other reading?
There's no other reading in this room.
I'll just wonder.
Okay. So the only other thing that you guys find in the room, Orn, next to you, you find 4 ivory elephant tusks. And Thoric, you find in a stack next to the sarcophagus a bolt of draconic silk.
Ooh. But it's in a stack? So that means there's a whole stack of this stuff?
Stack?
Wait.
No, it is folded next to the altar.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were saying that there's a stack and I only took one. And I was like, hold up.
No, you are up 1 bolt of draconic silk.
Alrighty.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we will stop for the evening. You guys have cleared the tomb, and you can clearly see that there are a pair of doors right here.
Oh, that's the exit. Perfect.
Towards which Pharaoh's chariot faces. Anyone want to do anything before we close for the evening?
There's nothing else to discover in this room.
I can't hear you, Eve. What'd you say? Eve, we can't hear you. Still not coming through.
Yes. There's nothing else in the room to discover.
You guys got all the treasure that was in here. The warbow, the George chariot, the bronze javelins. Oh, Mel, go ahead and roll me an investigate or an arcana check on those javelins. You're muted, Mel. Everyone's so meticulous about muting.
Sorry. I was talking to my dice. This is not the one that's been rolling high today. That's okay. 19.
19? Oh, okay. Well, you're able to discern that these are magical javelins. Each one of them is a +1 magical javelin, so it's a bronze javelin. And they do, in addition to the 1d6 piercing of a normal javelin, they do 1d4 thunder damage.
I'm gonna give one of these to Dark Eye.
No. It's
That's 3
mine.
of them. You got 3? You can't even hold this.
You can ask if she can borrow one, and I might say yes, but right now it's no.
Don't ask.
I'll use one on you. Did I get my crocodile skin also?
Yes, ma'am, you're up a crocodile skin. Bernard presents you with a skinned crocodile.
Can you hear us now?
I can.
Well done.
Yep.
Okay.
Are you putting the weapon stuff? I didn't get all of it. Are you going to put it in the chat?
I can put it in the chat. Yes, ma'am.
That'd be great. Thanks.
You got it. Eve, what'd you want to do?
I was just trying to see if there was any that I could use as a robe or as a devil.
You don't see anything else in the room aside from the treasure and the sarcophagus.
I'll take a few cutesy little things here and there, some gold here, but that's about it.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we will end for tonight. We will not have a game next Friday, but we will resume our regularly scheduled broadcasts on June 12th. So I want to thank you all for joining us tonight, and we will look forward to seeing you all on June 12th.